Hi, friends, and welcome to the launch and first ever episode of Womanaging. I am your host, Lila Myers. For those of you who don't know, I am an operations manager of two restaurants, the Grease Pizzeria and Tap Room in Franklin, as well as the one in Greenwood. Jason Top, the man behind both of these wonderful restaurants, has also partnered with me on my bar cart, Tap Room Bar Cart. Taproom Bar Cart has been a wonderful venture I just started in April with him. So Taproom Bar Cart serves cocktails, mocktails, beer, wine, coffee drinks, sodas, anything you can think of. It has been so much fun the past year creating this for the community. And I have found so many wonderful people through it. They are what inspired me to make this podcast. This podcast is to interview inspiring women, not only in downtown Franklin, but in Indiana. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, a little bit selfishly, because I'm wondering how do they do it so flawlessly? But I wanted to share their stories to inspire others, to inspire people who want to be entrepreneurs and haven't taken the first step yet. For the women who think their lives are already too full, you always have room to chase your dreams. And I want these interviews to help encourage you in that direction. I will also be doing advice sessions on here, but that will come later. But I just wanted to come on here and also give thanks and gratitude to the people who have made this happen for me and been super supportive. I want to give thanks to my mom and dad for being so supportive and great role models of entrepreneurship. They have been so supportive of everything in my life, and I just love them so much. I would not be here today without watching them both be entrepreneurs growing up. I want to give gratitude to my Nana, who is such a strong woman in my life and someone who has overcome so much hardship in the past 5 years. I am in awe every day of her. I want to give gratitude to my grandfather, who was such an entrepreneur as well, and someone who was so loving in my life. I miss my grandfather every day, and I want to dedicate some of this to him as well, because he has been such a great force in my life. I want to give gratitude to my sister Mia as well, because she has been my little partner in crime since we have been sisters. I mean, I absolutely love her, and she is growing into her own right now, and I can't wait to see what she accomplishes soon. I want to give gratitude to Jason Tapp, because he has been an amazing boss and he has been supporting me for years, and I just love working with him every day. He has made my dream job come true, so I'm so thankful. I want to give gratitude last to my community, downtown Franklin. Downtown Franklin has given me so many opportunities the past couple months with my bar cart and a chance on me as a person. I couldn't be more grateful for it. They have really helped me grow as a person and as a business venture with the bar cart. So thank you to everyone I just mentioned. I love you all so much. This wouldn't be possible without you. And without further ado, let's get into our first interview. Thanks, guys. Love you. Hi, everyone, and this is your host of Womanaging, Lila Myers. Today, we are sitting with an extraordinary woman, not only in Franklin, but in Indiana. She is the shop owner of 2024's Best Boutique South of Indy, a Hoosier Hospitality winner, one of Fox 59's 2024 Remarkable Women of Central Indiana, and on top of that owns the Farm Girl Mercantile Boutique. Everyone meet Tracy Bohler.
Hi.
She's so cute. How nervous would you say you are right now, Tracy?
11 out of 10.
I know. I am too, but I mean, it's fine. So how long did it take you to decorate the space we're in right now, Farm Girl Mercantile? You are all ready for Christmas.
Yes. It's been a solid 3 weeks,
Oh my God.
if not longer, because we started way before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got a cold now because I think I've just ran myself ragged.
Yeah.
Late nights here at the shop, I leave when it's pitch black at night. But it's so cool. It's beautiful inside.
And how many people help you decorate?
So I pretty much I have ladies in here that are vendors.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much do all of my spaces on my own. My son has helped me a little bit. And then my ladies will come in. Well, they did come in on this past Sunday. We closed down. We had Greek's pizza
Yum.
and wine, and we just have Christmas music playing, and they all work their spaces on Sunday. And it was so much fun. It's one of our favorite days of the year. Mostly my section has been by myself. It's been long days.
Yeah.
But customers enjoy it too. They like coming in and kind of seeing the behind the scenes, action.
Yeah. I mean, are you more of a night owl or an early morning person when it comes to working in the store or after hours?
I think after hours for sure. Morning, I kind of stay at home and kind of chill, get ready for my day, get my housework done because I'm still a mom.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids that still live at home. And then after I shut the doors in the evening, boy, I get a lot of things done.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think a lot of shop owners are. When I leave work, I see a lot of places lit up.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not the only crazy person here still working.
Yep.
So before we go into what Farm Girl Mercantile transformed into and where we're at now, what was it like growing up in Kokomo, Indiana? I know you lived on a farm.
I did.
So what was that like?
So my family started the family farm up in Kokomo in 1860.
Oh my gosh.
And we are actually a Hoosier sesquicentennial Hoosier Homestead Award family, which means 150 years or more. Family, my uncle still lives on the property. And as a kid growing up, I didn't appreciate it until I was an adult looking back thinking, wow, that was really awesome. I'm really proud of my ancestors, my grandparents, and keeping a family business going for up to 6 generations.
Yeah.
But I didn't marry a farmer. And life took me further south, and we ended up in Franklin, and we have 5 acres and goats and chickens and dogs, cats, kids, and so
all the animals.
All the animals that we have to feed all the time.
That's amazing. So being a farm family, is that something that's familiar to Kokomo? Does most people are on a farm, or how is that?
Once again, as a kid, I just thought everybody was farmers. I didn't think it was a big deal, but it's definitely, it's here in family farms that have lasted that long is definitely decreasing year after year. I think more and more, younger generations are kind of getting out of the farming business. The farming world. So, I think it was pretty special to have that growing up in Kokomo because it wasn't a common thing. Just where I lived, it was. But I mean, throughout the whole county, though, no, it's not. So,
what all animals and plants did you have on your family farm?
So our farm was corn and soybeans.
Okay.
My grandfather was a dairy farmer. I do remember some cows when I was a little girl, but by the time I was old enough, the dairy farm was gone. So my father and uncle did soybeans and corn.
Okay. And then what did a regular day on the farm in your childhood look like? What was it like from sunrise to sunset?
Well, both my uncle and my father both still had full-time jobs. My father was a printer, and then my uncle worked at Delco, which was General Motors, which is been turned into Delphi, which is no longer there. So this is back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. So they both still had to have full-time jobs and, go to work and then come home in the evening and, hit the fields.
Farming wasn't their full-time gig?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was their work week like? How many hours do you think they were averaging a week then?
Oh, goodness. A lot of weekends, a lot of I remember going out to the barn lot, at, pitch black, dark, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And they'd be out there, putting the corn in the grain bin. So yeah, a lot of times not seeing my dad and growing up during farming harvest season, which that's typical for a lot of farm families, that, dad's out in the field, mom's at home cooking and hauling their lunch and dinner to them in the evening. So
that's awesome.
It was good.
A lot of your media, from what I've seen on your interviews, was farm-like. You did a lot of Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, yeah.
Which you see
I raised
on all your articles.
I raised myself on Little House on the Prairie. I just love that show so much. But that's where I got of course, Farm Girl comes from our family farm, but then Mercantile is where I got off of Little House on the Prairie was my love of the Olson's Mercantile. I always liked the scenes in that. I grew up in an 1882 farmhouse.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where my love of antiques came from, was because the couple that lived there never had kids. And this was not related to our family. My uncle and dad bought this farm. They added it to the Mayer family farm, I think in 1970s when they bought this place. But the older couple that lived in this 1882 farmhouse, when they passed away, they had no kids. And so the house was filled with all their antiques. And it was his mom and dad that actually built the house. So you're talking about antiques, that were already over 100 years old, probably in the house that I grew up in. So that's where my love of antiques started.
Oh my gosh.
And I mix that in with my love of, history. I love American history and Little House on the Prairie and watching, the Mercantile. It all just came together when I turned 41, and that's when we bought the Mercantile.
So preparing for your interview, I started Monday, and right now is Wednesday. I've never seen Little House on the Prairie until this Monday.
Stop.
And the more I watch it, the more I realize why you love it so much.
Yes.
It's traditional, it's classic.
Yes.
Like the humor is old, but
yes.
It's comforting.
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay, this makes more sense. Like when I came in today, I'm like, okay, now I see it more. But for me to just start watching at 22, I was like, oh my gosh, why did I never start? It was insane. How many people were in your graduating class in high school?
103. I know.
What?
Small cornfield school. I was class president and homecoming queen. That was my claim to fame. I didn't win anything until the Hoosier Hospitality Award.
Really?
So I was the 1993 homecoming queen, and then I didn't win that Hoosier Hospitality Award till 2024. So I went 20 years never winning anything. So
I could see you being homecoming.
Yeah,
queen.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a huge honor.
Oh, that's so cute. And so then you went on to college, correct? Mm-hmm. Where'd you go to college?
So I went to Indiana University at Kokomo my first 2 years to get my prerequisites. I started off as elementary ed, and then I learned more and more about occupational therapy, and that kind of perked my interest more. And I just kind of stuck with that. I went into OTA school, became an assistant, actually worked here at Franklin Meadows, just on the other side of 31 here in Franklin.
Yeah.
But lived in Indianapolis, but I never came downtown Franklin. I just went straight to 31, went to the nursing home, worked all day, went straight home. And I never came to downtown Franklin.
So what does an occupational therapist do? What made you lean towards that role?
It requires a lot of creativity, and I like being creative.
Yeah.
And it helps people relearn daily skills, getting dressed in the morning, brushing their teeth, combing their hair, being able to use the phone to call their grandkids. It's just it's everything you do, your daily skills pretty much is what an occupational therapist helps that patient, gain independence with.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of holistic, mind, body, and soul. I love that too, really getting to the root of the problem, the issues with them. There's pediatrics, there's psych occupational therapy, and work hardening, which is people who've been injured on the job. But I worked here at the skilled nursing facility, and I worked with a lot of Alzheimer's patients, and it was definitely a rewarding job.
Yeah, definitely something that impacts you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a certain patient or story that sticks out in that time period of your life, being an occupational therapist? I mean, that is an extreme role to have.
Yes. Oh boy, I'm seeing visions of faces from 20 years ago right now, and I could cry. It was, a lot of them just treated me like I was their granddaughter, and losing one grandma at, age 17, and then my other grandma at the time still lived in Kokomo. It was comforting to have them. Hi, honey, and I just always treated them with respect and love and kindness, and they gave it right back. I really I can't think of anyone specific, but I can't think of anything that was bad either.
Yeah.
It was a really good experience there.
I'm very similar in the way that my grandfather passed away when I was 16. And so now when I have like an older like group at my restaurant that I work at,
Yes.
I could sit there and talk to them for hours.
Yeah.
I love it. Like I'll be gone for half an hour and was like, where were you? And I was at the table talking to them because they mean so much to me. I mean, that's just like a connection to my grandfather in some way. Like, it's just like, that's comforting to me.
Absolutely. That's how I feel here with my customers too. We just sit here at the counter and chit chat, and it's a generation that's, we're losing, I mean, time marches on. And so it's a piece of history to talk with older folks, and I enjoy it too.
Yeah. And you don't classify them as that age group by any means. Like, so many of them are young at heart. And that's what I tell everyone. Like, you can't judge a book by what it looks like or the cover or how old the book is. I mean, it's still amazing what they've gone through and what they're still going through. But I think that's just us and being in customer service, though.
True.
So you did occupational therapy. Was it from 1998 to 2002?
Yeah, you know better than me.
I did my research.
Good. Oh my goodness.
I did my research.
Yeah, so I graduated high school in 94, graduated college in 98, had my son in 2002, and then that's when I became a stay-at-home mom. That was my dream. I did that for a year full time, and then at our church, they were starting up a brand new preschool. And the girl that was starting it, her husband got a job transfer to Michigan. And she said, Tracy, do you want this? You can take Peyton to school with you, or to school to work with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like torn. I didn't know it was only going to be a few hours a week, like 9 to 12, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I thought we could do that.
Yeah.
10 years later, we grew the school from like 7 kids to a full capacity, like 50 kids. It was a small church. And we ended up being a full childcare ministry. So we were there Monday through Friday, all day, 6 to 6. I wasn't there all day, but that's what our hours were. We were one of the top preschools on the Southside of Indianapolis there for a while. So that was really neat. It was a blessing. I got to bring all 3 of my kids there. But once we moved to Franklin, it was just getting too hard to drive up to Indy with kids and tow.
Yeah.
And so I stepped back from that. And so I started babysitting at my home here in Franklin for a few years, while my youngest, who was born when I was 36. So my kids, oldest to youngest, are 10 years apart.
Okay. So
I had Savannah, and, I was able to stay at home with her too. And she got to have little friends and play all day while mom babysat.
I like that. I mean, I think that's fun. What was the biggest component of being a stay-at-home mom? Like, what's something people don't realize about being a stay-at-home mom? Sacrifice.
Money. I feel like money's tight always. And when you're on one income and 3 kids, you have to, give up the things like getting your hair done, or really, I didn't go out with friends too much. So yeah, some things I was like, I wish I'd done more things when I was younger, but then I think I was able to do that and pretty much stress-free, living off my husband's income, and it was fine. We got 3 kids and they love their childhood memories.
Yeah.
And, I had a great time doing it.
Yeah. I think the biggest stressor on my mom was, I didn't spend enough time with you guys. Or, we went to work with my mom, but she always felt like, I wasn't there all the time, which is not true. I mean, we were with my mom every day, but I feel now there's more of a stigma of people being a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's not as common now. And so that's why I asked the question. Like, for me, when I think about a stay-at-home mom, is probably the hardest job people can do, because you sacrifice yourself.
Yes. Like, I didn't have much social life. Like, I get kind of jealous when my friends would be like, I went to lunch with coworkers today. I'm like, oh, really? Did it taste good? What did you guys talk about? Like, but it all led me here.
Yeah. And then you look back and you realize that happened for a reason.
Yes.
Was there ever a time where you're just like, what am I doing the stay-at-home mom gig?
Oh, sure. I mean, I feel like there's breakdown moments where you're like in tears and you feel like life is passing you by, and you're here with screaming kids and dirty diapers and, sure. But yeah, it passes just like any job. You have
Yeah.
good days and bad days, and and it goes by so quick.
Yeah. I hear that a lot now because I
Mhm.
think about it, I'm like, is that something I want to do?
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know still, but I think everybody secretly wants to be a stay-at-home
Mhm.
mom
Mhm.
if it worked out that way
Sure.
financially. But I think it's amazing. So you have 3 kids.
Yes.
Peyton.
Peyton is 23, Sophia is 19, and Savannah is 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
are they close?
The older they get, the closer they get. Growing
Because
up,
you said there's a 10-year age gap.
yeah, they fought like cats and dogs. But middle child Sophia has moved out on her own, and I think she appreciates home more now that she's gone. Like, oh, it wasn't so bad after all. So they text each other, and they try to hang out together sometimes. But
Yeah.
I think they all get along and appreciate one another now that they're older.
So how old were they when you started Farm Girl Mercantile?
I see. We just celebrated 8 years. So Peyton would have been just turned 15 in August. And then Sophia would have been 3 years behind him. And then baby girl just started kindergarten.
Oh
Like
my
it was like
gosh.
the perfect timing. I couldn't ask for more perfect timing, with my youngest going into kindergarten.
Why do you describe it as perfect timing?
Because I think if I were still a stay-at-home mom and my kids were all away, I think I'd be twiddling my thumbs. I'd need something. And I knew occupational therapy was not something I wanted to go back into. I had actually started vending as an antiques vendor inside another store in 2016. And that got me really excited. I enjoyed it. I'm like, okay, this is my niche. This is my talent. I love antiques. I love decorating. I love staging and merchandising. And then that's when my whole love of retail started kind of firing back up in me because I worked retail in high school and college.
Where did you work retail at?
Oh, well, let's see. I worked at Paul Harris, which was like a women's clothing store back in the 70s through the 90s. And it was based out of Indianapolis, and a real classic women's clothing. I love their style. I worked at Elder Beerman, which was kind of like a Macy's,
Mm-hmm.
and then I worked at Victoria's Secret at Circle Center Mall. So I was downtown Indianapolis. It was so much fun. It was the best place to work. That was back in the heyday of Circle Center Mall, and it was just, it was thriving. And we had the bar upstairs that we'd go to after work. World Mardi Gras for any Gen Xers out there.
What's your retail nightmare story? We all have them.
I tell you what, I hope I don't stereotype any places around Central Indiana, but when I did work at Meijer. I helped open up the store in Meijer or in Kokomo, the Meijer store there. And when I got into college, I transferred to the Carmel location, and I wasn't treated very nicely by some women up there in Carmel.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided, no, this is not the place for me. I was, I was kind of degraded a lot, and I didn't like that. So that's when I moved to Victoria's Secret, and I was treated great.
Yeah, they're like, this is a gem. I'm like, what are they doing here?
Shoot.
So you started doing a little bit of vending. What were you vending at the time in 2016?
So I was at a place called the Rugged Roost, and was located behind Salvage Sisters, right over here by my shop now, and mostly antiques. And, I was doing really well. And then I was sharing a room with actually another business owner here in town, Shannon, who started Blackbird Nest. And now she's at Home with Heartland. And her and I were roommates. So it's kind of cool. And then I, upgraded to a full room, which I got the kitchen in the house. It was inside an old house. And I was just doing really well. And then by chance on Facebook, the boutique that was in this location where my shop is, by Tavi, posted that they were moving locations. And I instantly was on Facebook messaging them, asking what they were going to do with their building. And she gave me contact information to who to talk to. And within 2 days, we were signing a purchase agreement on this house.
Oh my gosh.
So it moved really fast. It was just, like I said, it was all good timing, perfect timing.
Literally 48 hours.
Yeah.
It was yours.
Yeah.
Did you already know what the name was going to be, or
I had no idea?
You were just like, I'm buying this place and it's mine.
Because my business name at the Rugged Roost was the cherry on top. Because I thought, I love cherries.
That's so cute.
And that's what I thought. And I thought, if someone's finding the perfect piece for their table or their bookshelf, it's the cherry on top. So that's why I thought of the cherry on top. So I didn't know if I was going to continue calling this that, or I didn't want people to think that I was an ice cream shop either.
Yeah.
And it just came to me. I don't even know. Farm Girl Mercantile. It just hit me one night.
I mean, it just rolls off your tongue, Farm Girl Mercantile. I remember always when I would come down here with my Nana, the first stop was Farm Girl Mercantile.
Oh.
And then Salvage Sisters. And it was so fun. Like, that's where I started to love antiquing because my Nana took me. Like, that's what we did in the summertime.
Yes.
It was awesome. How developed was downtown Franklin at the time when you got Farm Girl Mercantile? I feel like you've grown since the beginning of downtown Franklin. It really just started booming 10 years ago.
I was going to say, that's what everyone keeps saying. 10 years ago is when Franklin really turned around. What's funny is that Greeks had a special night with a place called the Marshmallow Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely, in fact, they started here at this location, Marshmallow Monkey.
Yeah.
And they did this night where they were merged together and partnered together with Greek's Pizza, and they had live music at their shop and shopping and beer and wine, and my husband and I went there on a date night, and we just thought, this is magical. I mean, pizza, shopping, beer, hello.
Yeah.
So, that was really exciting. Got me interested and more about downtown Franklin, and I knew I needed to be downtown. I knew I needed to be somewhere close to Franklin if I was going to start a business. This was the only place. I thought about Greenwood. I thought about Whiteland. But this Franklin was calling me home. And it really has. I've got 2 new shops on my side and across from me. And it's just really grown a lot since I started in 2017 even. That's
insane to think about it in 2017. Was the house red when you bought it?
No, it was this ugly. Sorry, whoever painted it. But it was also very dirty. You get a lot of exhaust going from Jefferson Street, but it was this ugly beige. It wasn't even like a sandy beige. It was just a dirty olive green beige. It was just bad. But so a few years ago, we decided to paint it bright red.
Red's kind of the signature color.
Yes.
It's the on brand. The logo is red, the truck.
Yeah.
What made you decide on red?
I like red. I like red lipstick. I love a little touch of red in your house, and I love red on your outfits and fashion. So
I think it's dominant. Yes. That's what I always think. Yes. It's a dominant color.
Bold.
And I think that's what Franklin needed, was something dominant like red.
It took guts to paint it red. But I was kind of going too with the whole barn theme, the farm girl, barn red, but this one's called Stolen Kiss Red.
Love.
So I thought that was
like
kind of
cherry on top.
Yes, exactly.
You're such a Victoria's Secret girl. So you opened up, was it a slow start or a fast start?
Oh, girl, it was fast. Our grand opening was Vintage Fest.
Oh my God.
And it was nuts. I didn't know what to expect. And, it was crazy. And then my son just sent me pictures of our first Christmas here, and the line of people at the register. But it's just funny to see, how empty the shop really was compared to what it is now. We thought it was full then. We thought we had stuff all over the walls and clothes. And it's just neat to see how we've really expanded and, taken on as many square feet as we could possibly take in.
I like
we keep expanding. The kitchen used to be my office, and, we never had stuff outside. Now we've got a vendor outside that has a bunch of antiques, and now we're expanding to the garage and turning it into a workshop. But it's been fun.
It's insane how much it's grown. I always think of here and Greeks and Salvage Sisters that are like timeless and stuck around through thick and thin, through COVID.
Road construction.
Do you
remember road construction?
I don't, but Jason has showed me pictures of right in front of the Elks, and I was like, what a disaster.
Yes. So that happened. They did that Jefferson Street project in sections. And when I opened up September of 2017, the road construction started in front of our shop March of 2018. So I was only open for a few months, and we had a dirt road out here, literally dirt road.
Very on brand for the farm girl.
Yes, yes. My kids were out playing in it. They thought it was cool. So that affected business. Then of course we had a couple snow apocalypses, and then COVID and lockdown, and I feel like we've had one thing after another, but here we are.
Yeah. I think of downtown Franklin as the ultimate survivor right now.
Yes.
It's been insane. What was your staff like when you first opened? How many people worked for you then?
My kids, my husband, that's it.
Awesome.
I'm still me, myself, and I here. I'm here probably 95% of the time. If you're going to come in the door, you're going to see me. I have a sweet girl, Maya, that works Sundays from 12 to 4.
I love Maya.
Love her. Oh, do you know Maya?
Mm-hmm.
Love her.
I met her when you were on vacation.
Okay.
She was the sweetest.
We love her. She is a OG country girl. She actually, trains horses, and she's amazing. And then I had an older lady, Sarah, that worked for me on Sundays as well, but she just got to the point where it was getting too hard for her, so Maya took over. But still, it's me, myself, and my kids.
So for me, that's the part I don't know much about when it comes to the boutique. So you guys just get vendors to come in, and then you just run the store.
Yeah. So the vendors that I have, they have, like with me, when I had the cherry on top business, these vendors have their own little businesses within my business.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily come in and work. They just come in, set up. Yep. Stock up their merchandise, inventory, tag, and then they're out the door. They trust me to run the counter and the business. And
how many vendors do you have now?
Actually, I got 4 that are big vendors, and then I've got a lot of like little vendors too.
How do you find your vendors as a boutique owner?
They came to me.
Okay.
And, but these ladies have been with me since day one.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to retire as farm girls. I'm not letting them go anywhere.
I love that.
Yeah, that's unheard of in this business. It really
so
is.
They're all original vendors.
Yeah. 2 of them came with me from the Red Roost because that closing down that summer when I opened. So they approached me. They're like, and I didn't even know what I was going to do, if I was going to just do the whole shop on my own or if I was going to have vendors. And they're the ones that encouraged me to have vendors. And I'm so glad I did, because this would be a lot to have to buy and fill on your own. And having vendors just gives that variety that customers want.
So you never technically have to deal with turnover then?
No.
Yeah, knock on wood.
No drama. No drama.
Crazy.
That's the best thing about these ladies. I tell you what, it's rare that you can get a bunch of women together, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but we don't have drama. We don't have gossipy. We just get in. We support each other. We, promote each other online. We get along, and it's lovely. And I think that's what works. We're family.
There needs to be more of that in the workplace. I think when I started managing girls in particular, it was very competitive. Like, are you going to take my shift? And I was wondering, where does that come from? I see it every day. I feel like I'm constantly telling the girls, this is your team. I don't ever have to tell the boys that at the restaurant. Yeah. And I just constantly think about, where does that come from? I never really thought about it or found my answer. Maybe it's maturity. Because
well, I don't know, because there are there's mean girls that grow up to be mean women.
But that isn't who comes into Farm Girl though.
No, people have asked me oh, I bet you get mean people or mean customers. I can only think of, I know this is the truth, one customer that got snotty with me in the 8 years I've been here. And she got mad because I didn't want to give her, or I didn't know how to give her a discount or a tax-free sale, because she said she was a vendor in Kentucky and shouldn't have to pay sales tax. And here I was, I just opened. I didn't even know what she was talking about. She rattled off her merchant number, and I'm like, well, do you have a piece of paper that actually, well, no, I don't have my paper. That was the only time.
Of course you don't have your paper.
Right. You can't just come and rattle some number to me and tell me you're tax-free. And that was the only really that I can think of in 8 years, the only issue I've had. I think when people walk into the Mercantile, they instantly get a feeling of positivity. And I try to make sure I welcome everybody. I think that makes a difference. People want to feel noticed and appreciated when they're coming into your store. And, it's just our hospitality here. We treat people nicely.
What's your biggest advice being in hospitality? I know you just kind of gave us one with saying you welcome everyone and acknowledge them, but if you could specialize or go down to one piece of advice that you think is most important, what is it for hospitality women?
One piece of advice. Kindness always. Smile. A smile goes a long way. I look at retail workers and the food industry. We are at the front lines of so many people's day. Either they're going to have a good day or a bad day after being with you.
Yeah.
Are you going to spread kindness and love to people? Or are you going to put them in a bad mood so they go to work and then they take it out on their coworkers and their coworkers take it out on their kids? And it's I feel like there's like this downfall of society, and I feel like it's up to us, as small business owners, and to be on the forefront of just spreading happiness to others. So
or it could change their day.
Bingo. Exactly. So that's my take on life.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people ask, well, what's the secret to being in hospitality or retail or a restaurant industry? It's pretty darn simple. Just be nice.
Just be nice. Yeah, that's
just be
the
kind,
best advice I can
and
give.
Genuine.
But it's, sad to say, I hear customers complain about, other places, and I don't understand. If you're not in the business to be nice to people, then why are you in it?
I think there is also days where clearly there's some days you go into work and you're like, okay, like I got to put my customer service face on. But once you do, it puts you in a better mood.
Absolutely.
I've always felt that way. I feel like no matter what bad day I've had, and I go into work and I see my customer or my coworker or my employees, it does put me in a better mood. Fake it till you make it is real.
Yep.
Do you have a trick to getting through a bad day when you're in customer service?
I try not to have bad days, but it happens. My mother-in-law passed away right before the Spring Vintage Fest of 2021, the day before.
Ugh.
And my husband had to go. He left for Illinois. My kids were all distraught. But I had to be here. I couldn't miss this. I have ladies that are running their businesses and depending on me to have my store doors open. But I tell you what, like you said, the customers will lift you up. I'm going to cry. They knew about it, and because I posted on Facebook, about my mother-in-law, and some of them even knew her from being in the store and visiting me from Illinois, and they lifted me up. I've had women pray for me. I've had eye surgery, reconstructive eye surgery because of skin cancer. I've had foot surgery. My grandma died. I'm thinking of all the things that have happened to me since I started this business, in 2017. Marital problems. I would go on and on about issues with my middle child. I feel like my customers have gotten to know me, and they know when it's their turn to lift me up. It's, usually when they come in, they're like, oh, Tracy, God just told me I needed to pull in your parking lot and see you. I'm having a really bad day and I just need to vent with you, girl. And I'm like, well, vent, go ahead.
Yes.
I feel like sometimes my counter is like a therapy counter. I'm here to give therapy to these women. But you know what? I've become friends with so many of them, and it's okay. They tell me about their marital problems or their crazy kids or their colonoscopy. I mean, I've heard every story in the book, right?
Same.
Yeah. But I feel like that's an honor that they're opening up to me like that, and they trust me with their deepest, darkest secrets, and then that makes me feel good too. So then it's just what's the word? What goes around comes around. I try to give as much love to them, and when I need it, they fill me back up with their love.
I think, and this is something I've changed in the way I manage. When I first started, I always thought, well, the customer doesn't care what I'm going through. like you need to get there and put your face on and go. And that's really not true.
Right.
Because that's how you connect. And there's a way to vent with a customer that's not complaining. It's connecting.
Yes.
That's what I've always thought. And you can turn it around and then they feel comfortable with you. And then they want to tell you yours, like all of the stories they had, or like if they're a bad day or something else happened that reminded them. And it's community. That is community.
Community. I love that word. That's what I love about this community. I feel like people really support one another, and they want these small businesses to survive. They want to get to know the shop owners. I think that's why my social media has kind of been taken off, because I make my social media very personal. I don't just say open 10 to 4:30 today. I really put my heart into it. And so people really have felt connected to me and want to get to know me. And they're like, people come in and like, I've been following you for years and I can't believe meeting you. I'm like, looking at like, I'm just Tracy. I'm nobody special just because I post on Facebook too much. But, they get connected. And then I think they want to support that. They want to support you. They feel like, it's neat. You don't know who the Walmart CEO is. You don't get to get that personal connection with, big box stores. So that's why they like small businesses here in Franklin.
I think when I first saw like Jason's Greeks account, I was like, that's so tacky or that's so dad jokey. But people follow that.
Yes.
Like, I think that's another reason why Jason is so successful, because he is himself.
He's real.
Yeah. If he's like, I like this Christmas meme, this is what I'll post to tell people we're closed. Like, people think that's funny.
Yes.
And that's why people love the company or the business.
Exactly.
I think a great example is I came over to set up my bar cart, or it was one time where I came to talk to you about the bar cart and you knew everyone's name that came through the door.
Oh.
And you're like, how's so-and-so? How's this going? And I'm just like, that's so cool.
Oh.
Like, that is amazing. That's what makes your day, being in customer service or retail. It's the people. It's not what you're selling or the food. It's the people. Mm-hmm. I've always thought that.
Yeah.
And I think that's just absolutely amazing. I mean, for anyone to think that it's been easy for you or an easy going, smooth sailing, is they're wrong.
Right.
I mean, you could have quit anytime you wanted.
Absolutely.
What was your biggest struggle with Farm Girl Mercantile? Just getting the ground running, or COVID, or what sticks out in your mind where you're almost like, I'm almost done?
I don't think I've had that yet.
That's how you love your business.
Let's hope I don't have that. I truly am excited to come to work every day. Weekends, I can't wait for Tuesday because that's my Monday. Because I have Sunday, Mondays off. I come in and the door, please don't think I'm weird, but I'm like, hi, happy place. I literally say it out loud. And when I leave at night, I'm like, bye, happy place. I love this. I love coming here.
You're manifesting.
Yes. It's an extension of my home, my heart. This is my heart for the world to see. So if anyone says anything bad about it, it does crushes me.
How dare you?
Right. But no, I can't think of really. Yes, COVID was tough. I was starting to get a little scared. And that's when you relied on your friends and your vendors and my family, to Tracy, you're going to get through this. We're going to get through this together. Just keep pushing through. And we did. The community supported us and rallied around us. And, we did those Facebook Lives, and we had like the drive-through pickup home decor. It was like McDonald's, but for home decor. People were driving in the alley and we'd load up their trunk with all the stuff that they ordered online and
that's awesome.
Pay at their car. And it was great. I was probably had more money coming in that way than we did if we were open.
Really?
But that was just another reason that how the community rallied around the small businesses here in town. But that was probably maybe our lowest point, but it was still good.
That's insane to think that alley right there was actually like a drive-through.
Yes, it was.
So that's how you kept the business afloat during COVID, was just your makeshift drive-through.
Yep.
We
would do Facebook Lives. And like I told you, I was like, I hate Facebook Live. I'm always so nervous, but I did a few of them. And people loved them. I thought, is really people going to sit here and watch me talk about, sweaters and signs and cows and cake stuff? And they did.
But it's not, now they know who it is behind the sweater
Mm-hmm.
or the cow
Mm-hmm.
or whatever you're talking about. Like when you go onto Amazon now
Mm-hmm.
or Walmart online, you don't see anybody behind the screen.
Right.
I think that is what makes boutiques so special. Like, I don't think I valued boutiques until a couple of years ago. Because, yeah, I went with my Nana, but I liked the experience of coming in here and talking to people.
Yes.
And that was, I think, was more because I was in customer service. And now I like realize it from both sides. But even at the mall now, customer service is not what it was.
No.
And that is so sad. I think maybe like Von Mar has the customer service where it's insanely good, like Chick-fil-A level.
Yeah. When I go to the mall, I always park outside Von Mar because I just love going in their store.
They're so cute.
It just reminds me of old school, department stores back in the day. Just it's all decked out. It's so classy.
And they have someone playing at the piano again now, not the piano playing itself.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I think it goes back to that whole, the senses. I try to make sure my shop has, a beautiful sight. We have good scents in here. You always have a candle on or burning.
Mm-hmm.
People always come in and say it smells so good. I try to have vintage music playing in the background. And I love people are like, can I touch things in here? I'm like, oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we just try to have all the senses, stimulated when they come in here. And I think, that's what's missing in online shopping.
Yeah.
And that was one thing when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I will never forget. My manager, she said, women love to touch things. They love to feel the quality.
Mm-hmm.
They love to feel the satin, the chenille. They love to feel that. So that's what I think women love to shop.
Yeah.
It's just relaxing to our senses.
It's an experience.
Yes.
It's something you make a whole day out of. Like when I'm at the restaurant and people sit down and they have all their bags like on the booth and it says Farm Girl Mercantile, Salvage Sisters, Brick Street, Batavi when it was open. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is a whole experience. This truly is a tourist destination.
Yes.
I didn't realize that until I started working in Franklin full time. Like, this is a tourist spot.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I used to work for Festival Country, Indiana, a couple years ago, and they are the tourism for Johnson County, the visitor center here in Franklin. And so I'm all about tourism.
Yeah.
And so when I'm here and people are like, oh, we're from out of town, and instantly I'm like, oh, so where are you from?
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of people from the north side of Indy. We're getting more and more people from Michigan and Cincinnati coming directly to Franklin. And that's their destination. They're not passing through on 65. They're coming right here.
I've noticed that too.
Yes. They're getting a hotel or an Airbnb, and they are coming specifically for Franklin, which is so exciting.
What I was going to ask you next, which is something I think really is more of a woman in the relationship question, which is very that's not really a thing anymore. But what I want to ask was, what did Farm Girl Mercantile mean for your relationship and your marriage? How did it change your marriage? You mean that means you were an entrepreneur now? You owned your own business? I mean, that had to have put good and bad stresses on you.
Yes, it did. It opened my eyes to a lot of things. I hope I don't say too much, but I'll be real.
Yeah.
I kind of got sad. I kind of got into a depression once I started this because I saw all these stay-at-home moms out shopping and spending money and doing fun things with their girlfriends. And I started thinking, I never did that when I was a stay-at-home mom, and I kind of got a little jealous, envious that these women were getting to do this and I never did that. So I took it out on my husband. I started getting a little resentful towards him. So yeah, we ran into some marital issues for a few years. But a lot of prayer and, it brought us, I feel like we're closer than ever now. Sometimes you got to go through those low points to make you appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
My husband's here pretty much every Saturday, his day off from work. He's a lineman for AT&T.
That's awesome.
So he comes here and works harder here than he does
AT&T?
Yeah.
Sorry, AT&T.
He always says that when he's on a vacation and he's here doing his honey-do list. He's like, man, I need to go back to work so I can have a break. But he's a good guy. We've been married now 26 years, and but yeah, we've we've had our share of, low times. I'm not gonna, sugarcoat things.
No.
It is tough when you're both working, especially as a small business owner. I feel like I'm constantly working, vacations, at home on a Sunday, I'm getting phone calls, text messages.
Yeah.
I feel guilty that I'm taking that time away from my kids or him. But it's to the point now where they understand.
They understand, and it's not a point of resentment.
Yeah.
And it's not even maybe like a woman role, like I said. I think it's just being a partner in an entrepreneurial role.
Yes.
That's what makes it hard, because now your business is another baby.
Yes.
And maybe your partner doesn't understand at first.
Yes.
But I think it's awesome, because when we were at your anniversary party, I saw your husband in the background moving everything with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And you could tell he genuinely loved it. And he was wearing your hat, just
Yes.
repping you. I was
awesome.
like, he's amazing.
Our goal would be for this to be like our retirement, to be able to do this together. He likes to build furniture. He's good at, he's getting better at his woodworking skills. So, that's our goal.
What else? What does Pete do for Farm Girl Mercantile that people don't see other than the woodworking?
Well, definitely he's 100% supportive of me.
Your biggest cheerleader?
Yes. He lets me make my decisions. He's not in there telling me what to order, you spent too much, which, I do spend a lot of money. He pretty much, he's like, this is, like you said, he says, this is your baby. It's whatever you think, if you think you're going to be able to make money off of that, then go ahead. But he's my maintenance guy, and, my mover, my heavy lifter. Yeah, so he's always got something here.
Oh, I love that. I mean, you have such a great family.
Yeah.
And you have 2 children already that are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
So Peyton does a landscaping business. Yeah. How long has he been doing the landscaping?
I think he started that when he was 17. He was in high school at Whiteland, and started off mowing lawns for people, neighbors and friends, his parents. And then it's just really grown. And now he's doing the Christmas light thing too, which is huge.
Yeah, there's a definite need for it. After I started decorating Greeks at Christmas, I realized, I was like, this is a job.
Yes.
As much as you love it,
mm-hmm.
The lights are a thing.
Yes.
I always thought that.
You would think that like May and June would be super busy months for him. No, it's like November, December. He's swamped.
Yep.
He is booked solid with Christmas lights.
That's exciting.
Which is, yeah, it is. It's exciting.
And then Sophia, she's an esthetician.
Esthetician here in Franklin.
So where is she located at?
She is located inside Essential Aesthetics, which is just 10 doors west of my shop.
Nice.
And her business is called Graceful Skin by Sophia. And
I love
she's loving it.
How long has she been doing the esthetician work?
February.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, February.
So not even a year.
No.
What made her want to be an esthetician?
Mom.
Mom.
I think Mom encouraged her. YouTube, TikTok. But
yeah,
she would give YouTube and TikTok all the credit, not Mom. But I knew she had a knack for it. I'd, watch her in her room, always, messing with makeup and, putting goop on her face and stuff. She was always trying new stuff. So I'm like, you would be good at that. And,
yeah. So when Peyton and Sophia started doing an entrepreneur role in their lives, did it excite you? Were you like, oh my gosh, this is like proving I'm doing something?
Yes, so much. I feel I'm very proud of them, and it's perfect for them. They're doing what I didn't discover till I was 41, or 40, I guess, when I started the little vending job. But they're doing it now, right out of high school, and it's awesome.
Do you think they would have the determination or even the courage to start their own business if you didn't start Farm Girl Mercantile?
That's tough. I think Peyton, I think they would. Peyton had really good influences at Seat 9.
Mm-hmm.
They have a landscaping program here in Whiteland, and he learned a lot from his teacher, Mr. Moore.
Oh.
And then Sophia, I think I think she liked it because she was never going to be a 4-year college. I don't think either one of my kids were ever going to be 4-year college students. And I was fine with that. I never pushed that.
Yeah.
I'm all about, trades and, even just a couple year college would have been fine with me. But Peyton he's like, Mom, I learned everything from Mr. Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. So he's got a landscaping degree through high school.
Yeah.
And then Sophia, it was perfect for her with what she did. It was like a 6-month program, and that was more than enough. She's doing fantastic.
Yeah. When I was watching like your social media and trying to find info on more of like the personal side of you, seeing both of your oldest kids being entrepreneurs, I thought, how grateful are they to see you do what you love? I mean, that's something a lot of people don't see at home.
Right.
I think more people are stuck in corporate America or doing a job they don't like because of their finances. Like, how grateful are they to see Farm Girl Mercantile?
Yeah, and and they learned a lot here, even though they were like, "Oh, Mom, we don't want to spend our weekends working at your shop,"
Yeah.
But I look at them now, and I look how they communicate with their clients,
mm-hmm.
and how professional they both are.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, you guys learned something from Mama. They wouldn't give Mom credit, but and they've built up some clientele by working here as well. Behind the counter, they get customers.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That have been my customers. So now they're, they learned a lot coming to Mom's shop.
I saw like the similarities with my life because I went to work with my mom at her business she owned with her dad and brother. And I was always like, oh, I have to go to the office again and just watch DVDs. But right. I genuinely loved it.
Yes.
I loved meeting all new people. I loved watching my mom in action. And it really, really shaped me. And so seeing Sophia and Peyton have that too, it was like very, okay, like somebody else went through what I went through
mm-hmm.
and have their own business now. It's really, I don't even want to say unheard of. It's not unheard of now, but I feel like more people are becoming entrepreneurs younger.
Yes.
I see that a lot more now. What do you think timing wise? Would you go back in time and change anything for your timing of becoming an entrepreneur? I mean,
well, that's a good question. Oh, sometimes I think,
because occupational therapy and your preschool job, they all brought you here.
It all did. And no, I guess not. Because, if I were doing this while my kids were really young, that would have been really hard. Yeah, I would have been missing out on a lot of stuff. So no, actually, you're right. I think it all led me at the perfect time.
I think
right when my youngest started kindergarten. So, yeah.
Savannah is your youngest, 13. I saw on your social media she does La Rose.
Yes.
And 4-H.
Yes.
So what does she do at 4-H?
Goats, chickens, photography.
Oh my gosh.
And recycled crafts.
Oh my gosh. So does she like coming to Farm Girl Mercantile?
I think she's
working.
I think the older she's getting, she's appreciating it now because her friends are like, and her teachers at middle school are like, oh, your mom owns Farm Girl Mercantile. That's my favorite shop in Franklin. Or, oh, I love that store. And so now it's kind of sticking with her. Maybe it's not so tacky after all.
Well, maybe like her age, she probably sees like it as tacky.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Do you think she's going to have her own business or does she hint at it? She kind of is her own person.
She wants to go into ag. So I don't know exactly what aspect that means for her yet. She wants to go to Purdue. She may be my only 4-year college student. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she wants to go into agriculture. So I don't know where that road's going to take her. She is a strong leader, though. I think, I could see her doing something like farming in her own business and in her own way.
Yeah. I think I see a little bit of just farm girl in all of your kids.
Aww.
And I think it's so cool.
Thank you.
Have they all visited your family farm?
Yes. It's been a few years because, my grandma passed away in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't really been up to Kokomo since. Kind of sad.
It ends out like that. I mean, you always say it's not, but then you're like, I haven't been to Kokomo in years.
Right.
Who was your most influential family member?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to say my grandmother that lived to be 100. The one I was talking about, the one that passed away in 2021. By far.
100.
She lived to be 100. She's the OG farm girl.
She is the OG farm girl.
Yeah, she's amazing. Of course, born in 1920, lived through the Great Depression, the whole World War II romance with my grandpa, baby boom in the 50s with, having 5 kids. And then she was the ultimate grandma. She was amazing grandma, just had sweet tea and dessert and ice cream and the best pot roast and just cream of wheat every morning. I don't know. I just think of grandma. There's so many wonderful memories of her home, and all of us cousins feel the same way. I mean, just grandma's house was special.
There's nothing like a grandparent's love. And I am very close with my Nana. So that's my mom's mom. So we relate in that way as well.
Yes.
I mean, my Nana's my biggest supporter and my biggest cheerleader always. And it's a blessing. It's probably my biggest blessing.
Absolutely.
How was returning to work after your grandmother's death? Like, how did that occur? I mean, I just going back to school when my grandfather died was hard. I can't imagine older. If I was older and that happened, I can't imagine.
Right. With her, she lived to be 100, and I knew she had a full life. And, there were times I broke down here because she came here in her wheelchair. She still lived on her own, but she needed a wheelchair when she came in here just so she had a place to sit. So I would picture her sitting over here and in her wheelchair visiting me a couple of times. But I knew she was with Grandpa. I knew she was in a better place. And so I just had to, march on.
And before we started, you said your other grandmother was really influential in your life.
Yes.
How do you represent them through Farm Girl Mercantile? I mean, obviously you just said they're the OG Farm Girl, but what do you have, like a special decoration or something that reminds you of them in the store every day?
So my grandma Mare was my father's side, the one that lived to be 100. Well, both grandmas, really. My Christmas decorations, I think that's why we go so crazy with our Christmas decorations here at the shop. We have a lot of old decorations and decorations that look old from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And that always reminds me of the shiny, bright ornaments. That always reminds me of both grandmas. My other grandma, who passed away when I was 17, was big into fashion. And she was I think she was a department manager at JCPenney's she retired from there. I think she did that for probably 20 years, maybe 30 years. So she gave me my love of fashion and red lipstick. So that's why I have fashion in my shop too, is because goes back to her. So yeah, the farming stuff and comes from one grandmother. The vintage Christmas and the vintage decor comes from both of them, and the fashion comes from my other grandmother.
This is why I think Farm Girl Mercantile is so important, just on a human level. Everything is related back to family and faith and just being ultimately kind. I genuinely, just looking back at all of the press you've done and what people have said about you, like Mary, I saw an interview, she said she's just kind. And it's just that simple. It really is. I love Mary. Mary's a regular Greeks and was at Maine and Madison. I had a couple girls that work for me. Mary is amazing.
Small world.
And just watching you do your thing at your anniversary party already 2 months ago. You knew everybody by name, like I said before. You connected with everyone, even if you didn't know them. And there's one moment that stuck out to me that made me realize I wanted to interview you for this, because I had Womanaging the podcast in mind then, but I was thinking about, well, who would I put on, or how would it look, and do I have even time for this?
Sure.
And I don't remember her name, so you might have to fill everyone in on this story, but I think this story is important. a woman came to you who had breast cancer. I think this story should definitely be told. And she came for your 8-year anniversary. And it was just a special time. I think it was around Christmas.
Yep.
So if you don't mind sharing that story.
Oh my goodness. Her name is Desra. She lives here in Franklin. And it was at our downtown Franklin holiday open house, which is actually getting ready to happen this coming weekend. But 5 years ago. So I can't even do the math. 2020. She came in and we were swamped. We were so busy. My son and I were behind the counter, and she came around the side and she just went on and on about our old fashioned 1960s aluminum Christmas tree in the front room. And she told us that she was told by her doctor that this was going to be her last Christmas, that she had metastatic breast cancer. And she just appreciated all of our decorations. And of course, we're busy. I couldn't give her the love and attention that I needed to. I felt horrible. And a few days later, she found my phone number and called me and asked if her and her husband could have their Christmas card photos taken in front of this tree. And I look at my son and I'm like, Peyton, we can do better. Because this tree's cute, but I know we could do better at our house. Yeah. So we had our Christmas decorations put up at our house, and in front of my grandmother's silver tree, which was a lot prettier than this one. Her and her husband had professional photos taken, and it was beautiful.
That's awesome.
They danced in front of the tree, and here she is 5 years later, and she's doing great. And
she looked
doctors
amazing.
Can't explain it. She did. She looked better than ever. She still has the cancer, but it's just maintaining. I think it shrunk a little bit. Yeah. But it's just a beautiful story of, she told me, she said, oh, I know too what we did. I got a group of ladies and we went to her house and decorated her house for Christmas. That was something else we did too. We called it Christmas Angels. And we ended up doing it the next year too for two older folks that couldn't decorate and didn't have the means to do it. But yeah, we decorated her house, and she said that gave her the will to live. I mean, that's huge to have someone say that. Just the simple act of us decorating, putting up a Christmas tree for her. My son put some lights on the outside of her house that they couldn't do on their own. That just changed her outlook on life.
That's what this is all about, in my opinion. This is exactly what it's all about. Just for you to say the will to live, like you never know what everyone is going through. And to do all of that, that's more than just selling antiques. That's going and meeting someone and impacting their life. And you wouldn't have that without Farm Girl Mercantile.
Right.
And that's what I think brings us the most joy. Like some of my favorite people I wouldn't know without Greeks.
Yes.
And that's insane to think about.
Look at all the people in your life now because of your job. Absolutely.
It's what makes you love your job.
Yeah.
And that's what is so special about hospitality. And so just seeing that special moment happen at your party, I was like, there it is. That's my reminder that stories like this need to be shared.
Yes.
I thought that was just so heartwarming.
Made me cry.
I know. It makes me cry just bringing it up. And Abby said the same thing. She was like, that is insane. Even just listening to you guys talk almost made her cry.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about in my eyes. I really do think that's what stands out the most.
And Desra is going to ride the parade float with us this Christmas at the Franklin Holiday Lighting Parade on December, was it the 6th or something like that?
Somehow.
I asked her, I said, would you be interested in riding a parade float since your 5 years is, oh my goodness, I'll be so excited. What do I wear?
So all of Franklin will get to see Desra after this.
Yes. Yep.
So something to look forward to.
I'll make sure I post it and get her name out there so people can cheer for her.
Oh, I can't wait. That's definitely going to be something I step out for.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My last couple questions for you are just kind of spitballing. There were some that I just, I was like, these are the things I think people want to hear and need right now. So I went back and forth on these 3 questions, just thought when I'd go to bed at night, I'd just be like, is that the one I want? But I finally decided on my 3. My first one is, what is one piece of advice you wish you had when starting Farm Girl Mercantile?
don't panic shop. I think I did get into some debt, and I spoke with my daughter's middle school classes 3 times now. And my main thing that I tell them is, if you're wanting to start your own business, save, so you can have as much, cash to pay for things, so you don't go into any kind of debt. So that is one thing. I did get into some debt, and I wish I had done that. I panic sometimes thinking I don't have enough of certain things. I need to just chill. I need to just let it come in when, let the money come in as it comes in, and buy as.
Trust the process.
So, yes. So I'm getting better at that now.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You never know, because then you'll get burned, and then you're like, I knew.
Right.
It's so hard to predict.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. My next one would be, whenever you feel uninspired, how do you get yourself out of that rut?
Oh, that's easy. I surround myself with creative, talented people. And once again, they're the ones that lift me up. Or if I'm feeling like, what's going on? We're really slow. I'm feeling like, people hate me. What did I do wrong? But I start hearing all these negative things. These amazing women that I have surrounding me lift me up. And that's the best advice. Surround yourself with people who have a common goal, that they want to see your business succeed. Because when they're succeeding, I'm succeeding, and vice versa. I want them to all have great payouts, because that means their business is doing good within my business. So yeah, definitely surround yourself with supportive, creative, talented people.
That's really good, actually. I think I needed that, because sometimes you get it's not even a burnout. I won't even say burnout, because I still have the motivation, but sometimes when I'm making, my bar cart stuff, I'm just like, what should I do? And I've done this before, and it's hard to keep getting new ideas going, and that's all people want, because they're like, I can only get this drink at this event. And then I'm like, I already had that drink. So that's what I needed to hear.
Sure.
My next one is, what is one thing you want young entrepreneurial women to know, but does not get brought up enough in society? I know that one was a mouthful, so I saved it for last.
Okay, well, this goes back to the kindness and the mean girl thing. Don't be a mean girl. Be humble. Remember why you wanted to start this business, why you got into it to begin with. Treat others with respect, and you'll get it back. Like I said, mean girls don't always, they can change, but a lot of times they grow up to be mean women. Don't be snarky, don't be snobby, just be nice to those around you. Don't talk down to people. It's my best advice. Just be down to earth, be humble. Don't look down at people. That's it. Don't be a snob.
Oh, I love that. I only love it because it is so simple. Something you learn in kindergarten. Yes. And it's still good to be reminded about every single day.
Right.
But that's all I have for you today,
Yay.
Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on Womanaging. It wasn't so bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
See, I get nervous when I start, and then when we get into the conversation, I'm so engulfed. I forget I have a huge microphone in front of my face.
You make it very easy. You're easy to talk to.
Thank you.
You're very encouraging. And you, my sweet friend, my adopted daughter, I'm going to call you adopted daughter.
Yes.
You look, like I said, look what you're doing at your young age, and your confidence and your leadership. And I've seen you in action with your bar cart. I've seen how you treat your coworkers, your team, and you are a natural leader. And I just see, your future is so bright. It's blinding me.
This is my last story before we end. When I was doing your anniversary party, and I had someone come up to me and say, "Are you Tracy's daughter?" I was like starstruck. That was the best compliment I've gotten that month. I was like, no, but I could be.
I love that.
But yeah, so you'll see Tracy, whether you come into Farm Girl Mercantile or you'll see her on the parade float with Desra on December 6th, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
But yeah, stop in and visit Tracy Bohler anytime at Farm Girl Mercantile. What are your hours, Tracy?
Right now we are Tuesday through Saturday, 10:30 to 4:30. Sundays, 12 to 4.
Awesome. Well, I love you. Thank you for coming on Womanaging.
Thank you.
And this is it. We'll see you next time.